Good day everybody, I'm Steven Yao from Global Knowledge Malaysia. I'm a Cisco certified instructor. My CCSI ID is 30310. Today I'm going to present a topic on this TCP/IP network layer. So this is basically about on IP address. Okay, first we have to identify Internet Protocol. What is basically Internet Protocol? Basically, Internet Protocol is an address. It operates in the network layer of OSI model. It is a connectionless protocol, packet treated independently, hierarchical addressing, best effort delivery in nature, and no data recovery support. So why IP addresses? IP address uniquely identify a particular host or a workstation in any TCP/IP network. Each host, including computers, networking devices like shared printers, servers, must have a unique IP address. So IP address basically contains two components. First component is network ID, and the second component is host ID. Host ID is basically uniquely identify a host is something like a unique house number on a street. IP address format. So TCP/IP address is basically 32-bit binary number. It can be converted into a decimal number. Each TCP/IP address contains 4 octets. Each octet is separated by a dot. That's why we can call it as a dotted decimal notation in the format. Now IP addresses classes. Let's look at what is there are 3 major classes that we use privately and publicly. First, there are class A, class B, and class C. So how can we identify the class A and class B and class C is basically by looking at the first octet. Now this slide shows you the example of class A, B, and C address range. Now referring to the second column, first octet binary value, if you can see that the first octet of the address start with value 1 to 126, it is called a class A address. So class B range from 128 to 191, class C from 192 to 223. So the classes of IP addresses doesn't define what class or what quality of address it is. It is not about that. It is basically referring to the size of the address. If you can see from this slide here, class A basically contains the biggest size address group. The total available IP addresses in full class A is 16 million over IP. You can see from the last column here, possible number of hosts. Class B contains 65,000 over, and class C about 250 over. Now there are 2 IP addresses reserved for each group of address class. So one address is network address, the second address is broadcast address. Each particular network address contains 2 IP will be being taken out from being a normal use. The first one is network address, the second one is a broadcast address. Now public IP address. Public IP address is actually those address will be used in the internet network or any public network hosted by internet service provider. For class A, IP range from 1 to 9 belong to public IP range, and 11 to 126 on the first octet. So class B, you can see from here, is from 128 to 172.15 network, and continue from 172.32 network until 191.255 network. So class C starting from 192.00 until 192.167.255 network. Then class C also continue from 192.169.0 network till 223.255.255 network. Now those IP addresses from out of that range will be considered as private. Private IP address group is used privately internally. For example, a local area network address in the LAN. Class A, this is the private range, 10.00 network until 10.255.255 network. Then class B, 172.16 range until 172.31 range. class C will be 192.168.0 until 192.168.255 range. Okay, with this, I hope we have a better understanding what is TCP/IP all about, and also the different class of IP addresses used in private network as well as public network. Thank you.